I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're diving into the whimsical world of Zachary and the Squirrel Bath. It's written by a remarkable author. Her name is Karen Singleton Hisaw. This charming story springs from a simple yet captivating premise. A young boy by the name of Zachary decides when he sees a muddy squirrel that squirrel needs a bath, leading to a series of delightful misadventures. It's a tale that celebrates the imagination of childhood and the magic of story time, perfect for readers young and old. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank our team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put her in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support writers like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her delightful book. The links are below this interview. Karen, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, was the idea of Zachary wanting to give a squirrel a bath something inspired by real life?
Yes, it was.
Okay, tell us about that.
Zachary is my grandson, and the
Okay.
characters in the book are cartoon-like, myself and him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching him one day. He was about 2.5 years old, and he saw the squirrels run through a mud puddle, and he got very upset and decided they needed to take a bath with him. So I thought, wow, that sounds like a fun story.
That's awesome. So how old's Zachary now?
He is 12.
Okay. So unfortunately, the story didn't get out before Zachary was still a little guy,
Right.
but it's out now, so he must be pretty proud of his Nana, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Did you give him the book as a present or something at one point to commemorate
Oh, yeah, I
this
believe so.
inspiration?
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. Let's give the folks at home a little bit more. Give them an overview of the story.
So the squirrel and as we go outside, Zach decides we go outside for a picnic. And
Hmm.
Zach decides that he starts putting his sandwich down by the tree, a peanut butter sandwich. And I asked him, what's he doing? And he said that he's trying to get the squirrel to come and eat the sandwich. And
Hmm.
I told him I don't think they like sandwiches. So I go on, I get some peanuts,
Hmm.
and he lays a trail up to the porch and to the window, the tree by where the window is to the bathroom.
Hmm.
And he takes a nap. And when he gets up, after a while, he takes a bath. He's in the tub, and I go to get a towel, and the squirrel followed the peanut trail up to the window. And I walk back in the bathroom, and it's sitting on the sink, watching him take a
Wonderful.
bath, and he wants it to play with his rubber ducky.
It's wonderful.
I, of course, get very upset,
Yeah,
and I have to get the squirrel out. So I throw the squirrel in a towel, and I run outside, and I dump it under the tree.
awesome. It's a great, great story. It's lots of fun. Have you ever handled a squirrel? I keep on trying to say turtle, but have
No.
maybe because of the bath, I think of a turtle more than a squirrel. You have no, yeah, I wouldn't pick up a squirrel. I'd
No.
be afraid it would bite me, but
Yeah.
it's great for a children's storybook, that's for sure. Now, I understand your illustrator is a very important person in your life, and she's a person who did a wonderful job on the illustration. So tell us about her.
That is my granddaughter, Alexis.
Mhm.
And at the time we did the book, she was 19,
Okay,
and she got to publish a book with her art illustrations.
that's wonderful.
She's currently working on our second book.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to do one for each of my 5 grandkids.
Okay,
And she is doing the next one's called Addie Addie Apple Tree. And
mhm.
she's doing the illustrations for that one.
Okay. And which grandchild will star in this book?
My granddaughter, Adelie.
Adelie. Okay, sounds good. And how old is Adelie?
Adelie is 14 now.
14. Okay. Okay, sounds great. You're gonna have to move into the young adult literature section soon.
Yes, I have some of those too, but
That sounds good. How long have you been writing? Is this something new, or tell us about that?
no, I've been writing for many years. I think I started writing when I was about 13. I did poetry and things.
Hmm.
And then I just started writing. I enjoyed stories. I enjoyed my kids, their imagination. Our house was usually busy with lots of kids around, so I could watch them and interact and see how they kind of thought and things that went on in their day.
Mhm.
And I always worked, so sometimes I didn't have time to read a story to my kids at night. So I would ask them about things that happened in their day,
Mhm.
and then I would use whatever instance it may have been, and I would tell them a story about them and what happened to them that day. I'd make something up, and they thought
Great.
that was very, very fun.
That's fun. Yeah, it's nice
Um,
to improvise like that. So
yes,
is this a first book you've had published or some of the other works you've had published also?
yes, it is. It's the first one I've had published. I submitted this a long time ago when Zach
Mhm.
was that age, and these other stories are written when the kids were much smaller.
Right.
But I was just never able to go through the process of the publication and all that it involves, and so I just didn't do it. And then I got to
Better
this
late
point
than
in my
never.
life.
Yeah. Exactly. Better late than never. It's out there
Right.
now, which is great. Have you envisioned this as perhaps a series of cartoons or movies or something like that?
Not this book particularly. No, I had not. I just
Okay.
was doing it for fun and for
Right.
enjoyment. And as I said, something for each of my grandchildren.
Yeah. I think it'd be a fun episode. It's such an imaginative story, about a little boy wanting to give a little squirrel a bath. I think it's very fun,
Yeah,
indeed. So
thank
you've
you.
got Zachary's story done.
Mhm.
Adalia, is that your other granddaughter?
Adelie,
Adelie,
Adelie.
she's done.
Yes.
So that gives you three more books to write, right?
Yes. So Adelie has been written. It was actually accepted by a publisher a few years back, but I
Mhm.
was working on Zach and I knew at all this. So it's like one book at a time.
Gotcha.
So hers has already been written, and as I said, had already been looked at and accepted. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
And my grandson Jack, his book is called Jack, Larry, and Harry,
Hmm.
and it's about him and a dog and a peacock.
Okay.
And don't want to give it away, but
Yeah, you don't
the
want to get too
peacock
much
gets in
away.
the house. Okay.
Okay. Gotcha. That could
And
be
then,
problematic as well.
yes,
Yeah.
my grandson Dylan, his is Oh No, Here Comes the Bear.
Hmm.
And when he was young, he was eating lasagna one day and he had not had it before. He was pretty small and he didn't want to eat it.
Yeah.
And I was doing dishes and he said, "Oh no, Nana, here comes the bear." And I said, "What does it want? It wants my lasagna." So the story's about the bear and various things that they do together.
Very cute.
And then Alexis's book is called Nana's Trunk. And
Mm,
it's about when she came over and I had a trunk that there was a bunch of stuff in I kept for the kids and how she would dress up and how she played and pretended.
wonderful. Well, they all sound great. They all sound imaginative. And it's also very, very nice that you're able to immortalize these little episodes in your life with your grandchildren by writing a
Mhm.
storybook about it. That's for sure. The book we've been focusing on most today by Karen Singleton Hysaw is called Zachary and the Squirrel Bath. It's a story about a little boy named Zachary who sees a muddy, dirty squirrel and decides that squirrel needs a bath, and it leads to a whole lot of misadventure and fun. Great book. You'll love reading it to your children. Your children will love reading it themselves. And Karen has other books that are basically like companion books that are in the works and will be coming out soon. Karen, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure's been all mine. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.